My work demands a lot from me. It's a lot of research, verifying facts, creating potentially life-changing solutions for people. Sometimes I get really scared of the gravity my work has on people's lives. Being a professional speaker means there are people who are trusting you to help them create an action plan for their lives to somehow move forward. I know there are a lot of people in my industry who handle the role very recklessly, and you end up hearing stuff like, I can never trust a motivational speaker. And I can understand that. The lack of integrity by other speakers has not stopped me from doing what I love. I think every industry has a few bad ones that can give it a bad rep. And it's hard to find fulfillment in your work when there's so many people just painting it badly like that. For me, I am chained to this career by passion. Every second I step on a stage, my world explodes. The adrenaline rush, the sweaty palms, the lines running in my head and trying to keep them there and remember them. Every single waking moment, I get an opportunity to do a keynote address. I approach every project with professionalism. I have completely fallen in love with the repetitive process of creating a keynote for each client, embracing the knowledge of new facts, allowing myself to be a student to new concepts. You become a better professional by showing up every day, by not being concerned about what other people choose to do within that industry. You become fulfilled by your work when you only focus on how to make your contribution more valuable. And I have two thoughts on this. I have two ways one can become more fulfilled in the work that they do. One, make a contribution bigger than yourself. Understand what your role feeds into when you look at the grand scheme of things. Even though you're working for compensation, the work you do is a contribution to something. You could be an admin for a non-profit organization and think, well, I just work in administration. No. When you're in administration, your contribution leads to more organized and systematic work processes that allow your organization to do what it does in the world more thorough and faster. There is no role that is not important. From the bottom all the way to the top, what makes the world function is everyone's contribution. But your understanding of what your contribution does to help in that whole plan is what helps you to start finding fulfillment in your work. Think of it as this giant factory machine that needs to be fed all kinds of things for us to achieve production. All you do is feed the machine with coal into the machine. I can see how the main plant engineer might seem like the most important person in this equation, but without you doing what you do, the cycle would not be complete. You help complete the work. There is a lot of meaning to the work that you do. There is a lot of importance attached to it, and you need to start realizing that. The existence of such a job title speaks into the importance. And when you appreciate that, you fulfill the work and you help paint the bigger picture. And you will start to look at your life a little more differently and know that your contribution is making the world a better place. Two, fall in love with the ugly parts too. Nothing is ever consistently pretty. My work is 50% hard research, self-introspection, writing, rehearsals, critic panels, And 50% is amazing stage time that I absolutely enjoy. I am on stage addressing a 1-hour keynote that took me 2 months to finish. I have come to the realization that I cannot just fall in love with the beautiful parts of my work and fail to accept the hard parts too. I cannot just get the best parts, but had to accept the hard parts too. A lot of time it is going to feel so repetitive for you. When I got into speaking, what I saw, what I loved was the speakers who were on stage mesmerizing the crowds, and I thought, I want to do that. But I did not know that there was a lot of hard work behind the scenes where speakers had to research, they had to work on their presentation, they had to learn crowd management. It is a lot of hard work being a speaker. And so to really find fulfillment in your work, you need to accept and fall in love with the ugly parts too. That you are going to feel drowned and under constant pressure. And I need you to know that it's just part of the deal. There is a beautiful side to what you're doing. When you see the children you've helped grow and change the world, the holes that you clean every day, the food that you make every day, feed and bring joy to people's lives, those moments will fulfill your heart to the fullest. There are people and times that will make it hard for you to see this. Sometimes the difficult parts of our jobs inhibit us from staying on the course. But I want you to remember not to pay too much attention to the ugly parts and try fall in love with those, because there is no light without darkness, no happiness without grief, no improvement without error, no true love without heartbreak. Take every bump in the road as a signal for something greater to come. Roy Peng. I also say all this in the hope that you have chosen to work within an industry or career path that makes you happy and need help remembering why you started. You find fulfillment in your work and become the best at what you do when you start to make a contribution bigger than yourself, when you fall in love with the ugly parts, hard parts, embracing the painful parts of the journey, because you know something great, something magnificent will come out of it. So don't let the difficult times you go through on the job and the work that you do make you lose sight of that contribution. You're doing amazing work, and you just need to remember those two things. I feel it's important I also at this moment say thank you to the frontline health workers that continue to and have been sacrificing themselves and times with their families just to get us through this difficult time. Your contribution has helped so many of us reunite with our families, with our loved ones who were fighting for their lives. Your contribution has reignited hope in our hearts and kept the fight alive. Your contribution, like the watchman who stays awake all night, has made us feel safe to sleep at night knowing our guardian angels are out there watching over us. So thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. You're amazing, and thank you for your contribution in this life that makes the world beautiful.